Okay, everybody good? Okay, great conference opening team win today. Appreciate our fan base, responding to the being here for the 11 a.m. kick. We get that that's part of it, and thought it was really a tremendous atmosphere in our stadium. Thought our fans really responded, and that meant a lot to our guys. I promise you. Just starting that way, and just another way for us to separate ourselves in the program. So thank you to those guys. I would also I want to just send out our condolences, our thoughts to the family of Taco Collins at the Big 12. Has always been a great supporter, someone that's taken care of our program for a long time. Lost his battle here this weekend, but we're certainly thinking about him and his family. And also meant to say it at the press conference on Monday, but similar feeling towards E.J. Hall at Texas Tech. E.J. was somebody I got to know during my time there. Was thankful for every minute I got to spend with him. A guy that players now think they're tough, and a lot of them are, but the guy played both ways in professional football. I think he had the world record for knee surgeries at one point. Just a heck of a man, and I know not just the Texas Tech community, all of us that have been there, but really football in general. They lost a giant in our game, so I'm certainly thinking about him and their family. Happy about the win. Guys played hard. Really, I think we're playing a little bit faster on all three sides, continuing to grow in some areas. Had some guys that had to step up for us in some key positions and did that, and got off to another great start and had some tremendous momentum. Extremely happy with some of the effort plays. One of the plays that sticks out the most to me was Delarian Turner-Yell running down the back that looked like it's going to be a touchdown. And then we find a way defensively to stop them and hold them to a field goal. That was just a huge series of events. And then getting a stop there defensively, fielding the punt, then being able to drive that thing down, have a couple shots in the end zone, and Gabe Burkich, who was tremendous today, knocking the field goal through there at the end of the half was just another jolt that was awesome. So some great moments, a lot to get better at. We'll be excited to go play Kansas next week.
You can talk about Jalen and his start. How you always talk about fast starts, where he really got things going, and your offense really got things going early.
Yeah, he made some nice throws. First ball to Rambo was a really nice throw. He's seeing the field pretty well. He's understanding how we want to attack people, and he's been able to process it well early. And he's a little more confident tonight or today. A little bit more, I think, a little bit more steady, and then made a couple of the off-script plays like he has been making too.
Lincoln, you were rotating a lot of guys in and out on defense. I know that's what Alex is talking about wanting to do, but is that continuing to improve in your mind?
It is, because it's a couple of things. It's keeping guys fresh. So not only are they staying healthier, but just the quality of the effort is better. You go tell a human to play, I don't care who it is, to play 85 snaps a game, even 70. It's difficult, especially with the pace of today's game, to play them at your absolute peak, level of speed, physicality, all that. It's impossible to do. And so, we're developing it, because that's, playing fast on defense is not just what we say or way we train, this and that. It's also decisions like that to play a bunch of guys. And so in our mind, there is never an excuse for a defensive player to not be full freaking speed. It's got to be that way. And if they're not, then somebody else is going in, because we got other people, and we're not scared to put them in the game, no matter what the scenario is. And our players know that. They understand the standard, and I think we are playing more fast and more physical each week.
What was your favorite play that Jalen made today? Which one?
Throw to second half, I think. Yeah, second half, the throw to Hazelwood. We had a little bootleg. He had to step up. They brought an edge, and he had to really step up, and it was one he had to really trust it on. He really couldn't even see the route. It was one of those that, a couple months ago he probably doesn't make here, just because, not that he doesn't know it, but there was a trust, and then to deliver the kind of ball that he did was pretty good. So that was my favorite.
Does that come from just the reps, or is that standard for him? You see him growing in that direction. He made a couple of sophisticated throws and reads today, it looked like.
Yeah, it gets better, 2 weeks to work with them. We pushed them hard on the bye week. All our players, 2 weeks to work with them after the UCLA game. Reps, understanding it, trusting it more. So it's all part of the progression, but he's doing a nice job.
Comfortable Lincoln sharing what made the Tech defense, what opened up CeeDee Lamb today? Or is that digging too far into what you guys do offensively?
Yeah, honestly, it's not like he was just running wide open. He beat a guy on a fade ball down there in the end zone and had some separation. But the other ones, he just, it got open and we made 2 really nice, throws. And he made competitive catches and then got out of tackles. And that's the thing with, guys like CeeDee. It's people always say, well, if you get them a one-on-one, you throw it and they catch it. There's also the matter of getting them on the ground. And with the way we can run the ball, we occasionally are able to get those guys in one-on-one situations. So it's not always looking for the catch. Our guys know a lot of times, like if I can make one guy miss or break one tackle, I may score. And he was a great example of that. You could tell he caught those 2 balls today expecting to score.
How dangerous has he become when he gets the ball and then making a play after that, maybe compared to last year?
Yeah, he's stronger. He coming up a few tackles that maybe wouldn't have, certainly as a freshman, maybe last year, maybe not. Stronger, a little faster, able to pull away a little bit better.
Jalen was getting the ball downfield, was accurate getting the ball downfield. Several times, though, he had terrific protection. Can you talk about both of those things?
Yeah, protected pretty well. We had a couple there late where we were a little loose, made a couple middle mistakes. I thought the line did a great job. It was they held in there for us. Texas Tech has some really good front 7 players. And they've. We knew that coming in, and I thought our guys did a nice job. We kind of like the rest of our team. There's more good than bad, but we just got to keep growing. And but fun to see. Played a little bit different lineup in there today, and I thought they handled it pretty well.
What's an Ely status there?
Week to week right now. Doesn't look to be long term, but it's indefinite right now.
Is that an injury?
What's that?
An injury?
Yes.
You mentioned Delarian Turner-Yell, the chase down there. What stood out to you about the next 3 plays, and how does that magnify what Delarian did?
Just the mindset. It was again, not comparing it to any time before. I know that's what everybody wants to do, but just the belief that we're going to run them down, and then when we get down there, we just gave up a tough play. We didn't do a very good job on the play. Shouldn't have let the zone. We came out of gap, But let's fight our tail off. Let's get him on the ground, and then let's find a way to stop him. And we were pretty dominant on the next several plays, especially the front. And that's a good old line. That's a group, as we said, got 100-plus starts coming in. That's not like some scrub old line we just played. And we were to see us kind of dominate down there in that goal line area was pretty awesome.
Yeah, 3rd down. Brooks looked pretty scary.
Yeah, it was bad.
Come back in. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's good. He did well. We're lucky because it was a bad play, and Coach Wells was classy about it. He knew it, and appreciate him for what he said over there, and he felt about it like I would have felt if one of our guys did it. And it was a bad play, and thankful that Kenny wasn't hurt worse because he probably should have been.
Is it just keeping him out is precautionary?
Yeah, precautionary. He was still available to play.
Made all his kicks today. How do you feel like he responded to the whole week?
Great. And it was swirling out there today. We knew it was going to be gusty, and with our south end zone closed now, it's even different than it was at least my first couple of years here when it wasn't, or first year, whatever that was. It's changed a little bit, and so he handled it well. He did, and I think having a really good snapper and an experienced holder in Connor McGinnis, helped settle him and give him confidence, and he executed well.
I guess that competition was pretty close in the preseason.
Yeah, it was close. It was. We came in the season, I had no issue kicking either one.
Lincoln, you only gave up 122 against the pass today. Defensively, it just seems like you're growing up in the secondary.
Yeah, we are. We still had a couple that we got loose, but we are. We're making competitive plays, and if people are catching balls on us, for the most part, it's competitive, and that's what you want. You're not going to stop every single pass, but you can be competitive on every single one, and we're doing that, and we're not busting calls, and when you do that, you got a chance to play good pass defense, along with a rush it's clearly affecting some quarterbacks, and you pair those together, you're gonna people are gonna have a hard time throwing it on you.
Lincoln, after the quarter, you guys had a 3rd and 24. They called a timeout, and you guys ended up getting a run and then the pass after that. Did you kind of go in intending to go for it? Did you got a big enough gain on 4th down, and what did you think of the execution there?
Yeah, it was my mind. It was in my mind to do it. We executed the run really well. Didn't execute the pass to perfection, but Jalen did a good job of hanging in there and just trusting Jeremiah Hall to make a play, and that was probably the other major play of the day that stood out. You know, DeLaren Turner Yell's run down, and then Jeremiah Hall's extraordinary effort, you know, on the 4th and 12 to get it, and it was just kind of right there in that sweet spot where we didn't want to kick it or punt it really, and figured our chances were decent that we would get it.
After you were walking back, being on the sideline and about Kenny Brooks, you yelled at the defense, and it looked like the intensity kind of upped. Was that the most intense series of defense that you think you all played that season?
It was up there. Yeah, they were pissed. I was too. I mean, but you know, other thing I told them was, you know, just stop them, nothing extra, and that obviously didn't work very good. So, you know, we were emotional about it at that point. Guys, all the guys saw the play and love how feisty and fiery we played, but it's got to be under control too. But yeah, I love how our fans, everybody responded. I mean, it was not poor us. It's, you know, let's rise up and go do it, and we did it.
But that short, the field was shortened, obviously, they were on the outside. Last year, usually, sometimes, most of the time, they didn't touch on this time. They stopped it. Can you tell the difference between just the
Yeah, I don't want to compare it. I mean, we're already 4 games in. That's last year's a long time ago. But I love the mentality we're starting to develop there, and that was a great example of where it's paying dividends. But we got to do it every week. It's never just there. Like, if that's who we are, we got to be that all the time. And so, if we're it today and we're not it next week against Kansas, and we're a bunch of phonies. So it's just got to keep moving forward. But certainly some real exciting, positive steps.
You said you like seeing the team fiery, but what happened in the first quarter? What did you see on that play on the sideline? CeeDee got the offensive pass interference.
I thought it was a bang call. I mean, you know, I don't want to get my first fine here, but I think you know, I wasn't real happy with it. And then there was a couple of things sub-wise that, you know, just with the communication that we needed to get on the same page. And I thought, you know, we called a timeout and we cordially talked about it and we went to the next play.
Was that about as heated as you've been at an official on a field?
Yeah, I just the sequence of plays. And listen, they're bang plays. I mean, I get their job's tough. I mean, I couldn't do it. And so I get that they're tough, but I thought we'd had a couple tough ones in a row that hadn't went our way. And so, yeah, I got a little frustrated.
Let's go to charity. You did a good cause.
That's right.